Hello everyone, and welcome to my Bold and Beautiful Today channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Ridge's incredible gift, Hope's desperate damage control. Here are the spoilers for Thursday, January 9th, 2025's episode of The Bold and the Beautiful. Fans can anticipate that Ridge Forrester will give Taylor Hayes an amazing present in Thursday's episode. Brooke Logan is urged to remain at Forrester Creations by Hope Logan. Find out what will happen in the upcoming episode of the CBS soap opera by reading on. The reconnection of Taylor Hayes. According to B&B spoilers for Thursday, January 9th, Ridge turned to Taylor right away after Brooke betrayed him. Ridge is grateful to Taylor for his assistance. Although Ridge is obviously unaware of all the details, he is grateful that Taylor is supporting him for the time being. Ridge is currently certain that Steffy Forrester Finnegan, Jacqueline McInnes Wood, will figure out a way to regain control of the business. Ridge and Eric Forrester have complete faith in Steffy's ability to pull off the impossible, even if they are unaware of the plot. Ridge Forrester's gift, B&B spoilers. Fans witnessed Ridge holding Taylor's hands at the conclusion of Wednesday's show. They have the entire house to themselves, Ridge added. Additionally, it is hinted that Ridge will give Taylor a unique present. Ridge is not necessarily not working just because he is not at the office. Ridge has made Taylor a stunning gown. By the end of the week, expect complete passion as Ridge is also hinted at sharing a hot kiss. A reconsideration of Brooke Logan. According to Thursday, January 9th spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful, Brooke will keep wondering where she wants to go with her life. Heartbroken, Brooke questions if she should be at Forrester Creations at all. To help safeguard her line, Hope obviously needs Brooke there and in command. Despite all of Carter Walton's assurances, what if Hope's statistics never get better? Ridge is still with Taylor even if Brooke quits today. Additionally, Ridge believes that Brooke is the enemy, therefore Ridge will not change if Ridge quits. Thursday, January 9th, 2025, spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful. Fans should anticipate Hope supporting Brooke in Thursday's episode as well. Hope will attempt to comfort Brooke's wounded heart in addition to persuading her to remain at Forrester Creations. Who will be Brooke's next partner now that Ridge is back with Taylor? Daphne plays dirty while Steffy attempts a novel strategy. According to previews on The Bold and the Beautiful, Steffy Forrester Finnegan is preventing grass from growing. Hope Logan is the objective of a scheme she is putting into action. Steffy wants to stab Carter Walton and Hope in the heart. The audience discovered that Steffy and Daphne Rose are pals. Bravo to the writing team for developing a fresh character that is interwoven with the power battle at Forrester Creations. Steffy's offer to court Carter was voluntarily accepted by Daphne, appending the two-person contingent that had taken over the family business. Spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful, Hope Logan and Carter Walton are surpassed. Daphne has captured the hearts of Hope and Carter. They were blown away by the entry of the so-called best nose in Paris, France. Fanny Grayson desired the deal for FC Cent. However, Fanny's dreams were dashed when Daphne arrived and began a conversation with subtitles. Since she shares Carter and Hope's admiration for Daphne, she didn't give a damn. However, it appears that Fanny is unaware of Daphne's collusion with Steffy. That probably won't be known for some time. Now that Daphne is present, it seems like Fanny will leave stage left. Spoilers for B&B, who is Daphne Rose? Steffy wants to have Daphne entice Carter since she is a major player in the luxury market, which is exactly where Carter wants to position FC. Given that it should provide the desired tension between the lovers, that endeavor has a lot of promise. Hope and Carter had only recently started dating. Although they share a sincere connection, they are also a convenient couple. Carter is hence susceptible to falling in love with Daphne. The public was unaware that Steffy had a well-known acquaintance. But in an effort to regain control of the business her grandfather co-founded, that relationship is being exploited. As long as Carter and Hope are kept in the dark, this endeavor should eventually produce fruitful outcomes, even though it might not happen right away. Spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful, Steffy Forrester wins over Finnegan. When Steffi told him Eric Forrester and her mother, Taylor Hay, about her plan, Ridge Forrester smiled wryly. Steffi will shortly return to the executive suite, and they all know she means business. Steffi will make Carter and Hope wary. However, Carter's attention should be diverted by Daphne's presence. Steffi needs to exercise caution around Hope because she is a different calculation. Steffi can handle it. Hope, however, is not a softie and is driven to hold on to all Carter assisted her in recovering. Instead of waiting years for attorneys to reclaim legal control or reach some repugnant agreement, winning entails taking control from Carter by force. Thus, Steffi's plot is as captivating as the storyline itself. Ridge's expensive present, Brooke's rethink, and Hope's stress. Here are the spoilers for Thursday, January 9th, 2025's episode of The Bold and the Beautiful. Fans can anticipate that Ridge Forrester will present Taylor Hayes with a unique gift in tomorrow's episode. The Bold and the Beautiful, next. Forrester Creations employee Brooke Logan rethinks her role. Hope Logan, though, begs her mother to continue serving as CEO. Let's discuss what will happen in the upcoming episode of the CBS soap opera as you continue reading. Spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful, Ridge Forrester's unique present. According to Thursday, January 9th B&B spoilers, Ridge has a whole different perspective on Taylor. That's probably just loneliness, of course. Ridge believes Brooke has betrayed him entirely. Ridge rushed directly to Taylor even though it was acceptable to keep apart while things were so heated. Ridge wanted to be with Taylor immediately, but Brooke arrived after a drink was spilled. Ridge is searching for a new friend, and Brooke is devastated. Ridge chooses to offer Taylor a unique present as a result. Read more, spoilers for B&B, does Poppy discover Luna at Bill's house? B&B spoilers, the passion of Taylor Hayes. Taylor enjoys getting back in touch with Ridge. Taylor did, however, acknowledge to Steffi Forrester Finnegan that she was worried about Brooke's attempts to woo Ridge back. They experience intense passion as Ridge presents Taylor with a unique gown he created. Spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful, Brooke Logan's heartbreak. According to Thursday, January 9th spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful, Brooke will experience heartbreak. Brooke gave Ridge a slap and expressed her opinion. In the midst of attempting to do the right thing, Brooke is distraught that she lost Ridge. Although Brooke has a good heart, she approached this very incorrectly. Additionally, Brooke lacks a clear plan. B&B spoilers for January 9th, 2025, Thursday. On Thursday, January 9th, Brooke will consider terminating her employment. But Hope consoles Brooke about her heartbreak. Brooke is also under pressure from Hope to continue serving as CEO. After all, if Brooke departs, Hope and HFTF will once more be in danger. Additionally, there may be an update regarding the status of Bill Spencer and Luna Nozawa. Could Electra Forrester be in jeopardy once more now that Luna has her sights set on Will Spencer? Why hasn't the Forrester family responded to the news that Remy Price, one of their own, is still alive? On Thursday, January 9th, 2025, which narrative are you most excited to see? What do you think will happen to Will, Electra, Bill, and Luna? How will Brooke, Ridge, Taylor, Steffi, Hope, and the other characters fare in the future? There was a noticeable sense of tension around Forrester Creations, with the air humming with unsaid complaints and unresolved disputes. At the center of it all was Daphne Whitmore, whose soaring hubris was the only thing that had matched her rapid ascent within the corporation. Daphne had received praise for her unquestionable talent and creative thinking, but her growing conceit turned her away from the people she most needed. There were murmurs of disapproval and open annoyance among the Forrester team members as a result of her determination on doing things her way, without consultation or compromise. In her most recent prank, Daphne demolished a beloved custom at Forrester Creations. She abandoned the yearly Legacy Gala, a cherished occasion honoring the brand's legendary past and its founders, in an effort to demonstrate that her vision was the only way to go on. Rather, she revealed a dazzling, influencer-driven presentation that was very different from the sophisticated and classy image the corporation had built over the years. In a condescending tone, Daphne declared during a staff meeting, "This is the future. We cannot continue to hold on to remnants of the past." Forrester Creations must be fearless, innovative, and, to be honest, less sentimental if it is to remain relevant. To many who had dedicated their lives to upholding the company's legacy, her remarks seemed like a kick in the face. Steffy Forrester, who has always protected her family's traditions, was particularly hurt. Beneath the table, she balled her fists, resisting the want to answer as bluntly as Daphne had. But Brooke Logan was less controlled. She ended up pacing wildly and venting her feelings at Ridge's office later that day. "Can you believe that girl's nerve?" With every line, Brooke's voice rose in rage. "She tramples on all we've made as she enters the space as if she owns it. The Legacy Gala is a celebration of all that Forrester Creations is all about, not just an occasion. And for what reason does she wish to discard it? An exalted party on TikTok?" Sitting behind his desk, Ridge listened with a mix of fatigue and pity. He recognized that the argument with Daphne was a sign of a more serious problem, but he also understood Brooke's indignation. The business was caught between embracing an uncertain future and paying respect to its history. "I understand, Brooke," Ridge answered softly. "Daphne's strategy is fierce. However, transitions are nothing new to us. It has occasionally been messy as we have had to adjust. But how can we deal with this without destroying one another?" With her eyes flaming, Brooke turned away from her pacing and looked at him. "We deal with it by telling Daphne that she is not in charge of this business. Ridge, she must understand her role or she will ruin all of our hard work." Knowing that Brooke's fierce will was both her greatest asset and her biggest flaw, Ridge groaned. "I'll speak with her," he said. "But we must use caution, Brooke. This is about where we want Forrester Creations to go, not just about Daphne. We must figure out how to close the gap." Another fire was subtly rekindling somewhere else while Brooke's rage simmered. The unresolved sentiments between Ridge and Taylor Hayes were the main topic of their chat later that evening, rather than business. Since Ridge returned to Los Angeles, Taylor had been a constant in her life, providing understanding and support in a familiar and reassuring manner. Ridge paid Taylor a visit at her Malibu residence that evening, supposedly to talk about their kids. However, as they conversed, the topic veered into more intimate area, and their chemistry ignited like a spark igniting a dry tinder. With her eyes searching his, Taylor whispered, "I know things have been complicated with Brooke. However, you don't have to bear all of this alone. Even though you've always kept things together, perhaps it's time to delegate part of the responsibility to someone else." Ridge gazed at her, a mixture of appreciation and desire on his face. "Taylor, you've always been able to say the right thing. Being with you here, even though it wasn't, it makes me think of a simpler period. My anchor has always been you." Taylor put her hand over his and reached out. The electric touch served as a reminder of their long-standing, close relationship. She said, "And you've always been my heart, Ridge." As the talk ended and was replaced by silence, the type that said more than words could, their connection grew. Ridge drew in closer, his reluctance yielding to the tug of a bond never really broken. They rekindled a flame that had smoldered for too long with a passionate and delicate kiss. Ridge found the moment to be both thrilling and complicated. Tangled in a web of shared experiences and history, his affections for Brooke remained. However, there was a sense of calm with Taylor, a recall of a love that had endured throughout the upheavals of life. The kiss served as a bittersweet confirmation for Taylor of the affections she had harbored for Ridge throughout the years. She was aware that there might be difficulties if they were to reunite. But she gave herself permission to hope for the moment. Daphne's conceit was still causing her co-workers at Forrester Creations to become resentful. Even many who had first endorsed her concept were turned off by her inability to take into account different viewpoints. Daphne, however, remained steadfast in her belief that her path was the only one to follow. As she observed the mayhem, Steffi started to formulate her own strategy. She saw that the argument with Daphne was a sign of broader differences within the organization rather than being solely about one person's ego. Steffi was aware that resolving such conflicts would take more than a confrontation in the boardroom. A unified strategy that embraced innovation and paid tribute to Forrester's legacy would be necessary. Brooke's rage at Daphne didn't seem to be lessening as Steffi worked behind the scenes to garner support for her plan. She began venting to Ridge on a daily basis, which only served to increase their tension. Ridge became more and more attracted to the comfort he felt with Taylor as a result of Brooke's inability to accept his viewpoint, which only served to widen the gap. Both inside the complex network of ties that characterized the Forrester family and at Forrester Creations, the stage was set for a dramatic clash. Ridge and Taylor's developing intimacy, Brooke's unwavering commitment, and Daphne's conceit were all parts of a bigger picture that would eventually decide the company's and its residents' future. The stakes were clear for Daphne. She was prepared to pay whatever price to demonstrate that her vision was correct. The struggle was personal for Brooke. It was a struggle to defend the heritage she had contributed to and to establish her position in the Forrester dynasty. Additionally, the renewal of Ridge and Taylor's love served as a reminder of the difficulties involved in following their emotions as well as a source of optimism. One thing was clear as the drama developed: the path ahead would not be easy. It would, however, be brimming with passion, intrigue, and the unwavering resolve to overcome whatever obstacles stood in their way, in typical Forrester form. A towering figure at Forrester Creations for decades, Ridge Forrester was a born leader in the fashion industry thanks to his talent, charisma, and imposing presence. Beneath the charisma and artistic brilliance, however, was a pattern of behavior that was hard to ignore, one that was rooted in power, entitlement, and, as some were starting to label it, misogyny. Due to his success and prestige, Ridge's acts had frequently been disregarded or dismissed, but recent occurrences put his views and choices under intense scrutiny, paving the way for a conflict that would upend both his personal and professional lives. At Forrester Creations, it started with a standard staff meeting where the group was talking about launching their new line. As usual, Ridge dominated the conversation, ordering design revisions, brushing off criticism, and disparaging the work of his female colleagues with an indifference that was hard to ignore. His daughter and co-CEO, Steffi Forrester, sat silently, growing increasingly irritated as Ridge interrupted her yet another offer. At last, Steffi interrupted in a firm and steady voice, "Dad, can we stand back and listen to what the team has to say? We don't obtain the best results when you reject ideas without even taking them into account." Ridge laughed dismissively and waved her away. "I've been doing this for a while, Steffi. I'm aware of what functions well and what doesn't. We don't need to overthink this, I promise." The tension was so intense that a knife could pierce the room's silence. Steffi and Hope Logan, who had also been dismissed earlier in the meeting, looked at each other. The younger ladies in the room, many of whom had personally witnessed Ridge's domineering behavior, started chatting among themselves, their discontent rising to the surface. Steffi felt she had had enough later that day. Determined to confront the problem head-on, she summoned Ridge into her office. Steffi said, "Dad, we need to talk," in a tone that had no room for debate. "I've noticed a pattern in your interactions with me and the other women on this team, and it's not acceptable." Ridge, obviously surprised, arched an eyebrow. "What are you discussing?" "Everyone is treated equally by me." "You don't," Steffi shot back, her voice up. "You act as though your opinions are the only ones that count, interrupting and dismissing others. And the women you're doing it to are always the ones who die. Are you even aware of how patronizing you sound?" Ridge reacted angrily to the charge. "Condescending? Come on, Steffi. I started this business from the beginning. I am aware of the requirements for success. If I come across as condescending, it's because I don't have time for unproductive ideas." "That's precisely the issue," Steffi retorted. "You believe it isn't worth thinking about because it wasn't your idea. Additionally, you don't treat the women on this squad with the same deference that you do the males, including your own daughter. Are you aware of how annoying it is to work for someone who doesn't respect your opinions?" Ridge's defensiveness gave way to a glimmer of self-doubt as Steffi's comments took hold. He was about to reply when Brooke Logan walked into the room with a worried yet interested look on her face. "What's happening?" Sensing the tension, Brooke inquired. Steffi retorted simply, "Your ex-husband is being called out for his behavior. To be honest, I believe it's long overdue." After her eyes opened in surprise, Brooke's expression changed to one of knowing. "Well, she's not incorrect, Ridge. You've always had a tendency to bulldoze people when you believe you know best, especially women. I've been dealing with it for years, so I should know. Ridge appeared truly surprised. You're on her side, Brooke? You believe that I am a sexist after everything we have experienced together? Brooke added cautiously, I don't think you realize how your behavior comes across. Ridge, you've always had self-assurance, but occasionally that self-assurance goes too far. And when it does, it harms those who are attempting to cooperate with you rather than oppose you. As more women started to share their personal stories of feeling ignored or devalued by Ridge, the topic triggered a wider discussion within the organization. The accounts from both new hires and longtime staff members depicted a leader whose actions, albeit possibly inadvertent, supported a culture in which women's views were frequently marginalized. At a family get-together, even Ridge's ex-wife, Taylor Hayes, who had always stood by him, offered her opinion. I've always admired your drive and your passion, Ridge, Taylor stated softly but firmly. However, I've also witnessed how same enthusiasm may make you oblivious to other people's contributions. You've lost the ability to listen because you've been so preoccupied on leading. And even though I adore you, I can no longer keep quiet about this. The criticism from Taylor, Steffi, and Brooke, three of the most significant women in Ridge's life, was obviously upsetting. Their remarks made him face an unpleasant reality. Although his actions were not malevolent, they were motivated by antiquated ideas about gender roles and leadership. Ridge started a self-examination process because he was determined to set things right. He attended training on unconscious bias, asked his coworkers for input, and worked hard to modify his leadership style. He expressed regret to the women he had previously rejected, recognizing their efforts and promising to improve. There were difficulties throughout the procedure. Ridge found it difficult to completely give up his old ways because of his deeply rooted habits and innate tendency toward control. However, with Steffi's help and encouragement, he started to see how crucial cooperation and respect for one another was. The culture of Forrester Creations started to change as Ridge's metamorphosis progressed. The company's once stifled female voices became bolder and more self-assured, creating a more dynamic and inclusive atmosphere. The company's designs got more inventive and varied as a result of the adjustments, appealing to a wider range of consumers. Ridge found the experience to be both humbling and eventually fulfilling. He discovered that real leadership was about enabling people to shine rather than imposing one's own will. Even though he still had a long way to go, his progress demonstrated his commitment to change and improve. Even the most ingrained patterns could be broken with honesty, bravery, and a dedication to improving, as seen by the positive transformation that resulted from the conflict that had earlier threatened to split the Forrester family and company.